We prep for the sound, the curtain falls and the crowd's all round. The night's still young and the stage is set. Our voice is ready, no time for regret. Wisdom and laughter in a verbal embrace. Tonight we're ruling this electric space. Wonder dream when it's time for us. Diving deep in after-show debates. Acolyte with hot takes so contentious. Hearts race on, our pulse relentless. Yeah, we're alive with every mic. Yeah, like the stars and like the night. Yeah.
Surprise! What do naysayers? We are back for the Aftershow Podcast. You thought you were going to miss us, but surprise! We are doing a special Sunday episode. We didn't do it Friday because Jay was off with the missus, so I took a much needed night off from having to hear JayShockBlast talk, and instead on my main channel we just did a live stream of the Bandai Namco Summer Showcase, which was a lot of fun. Got to see some anime games. They got the world premiere of the new Bleach game, and most importantly, no JayShockBlast. But now he's back. He's ready. He has nothing better to do. So we're going.
Literally what I said to Sadot. I'm like, I have nothing better to do. So if you want to just do the show tonight, a couple days late, even if it's not a full show, whatever it may be, here we are. Let's do it. And he's like,
here we are.
Yep, let's do it.
I mean, when he sent me that message, I was literally in my room playing the First Descendant. So I was like, oh, well, I'm already at my desk. So
yeah. All right. So I went to Pokémon Go Fest in New York City. Second year.
It's as lame as it sounds.
It was not as fun this year, but I'm going to go ahead and share my Twitter feed real quick, because it's funny that Eastwood is here, because I actually took a picture thinking of him. All right. So I purposely stopped in New Haven, Connecticut, where like 3 of the United States best pizza places are supposed to be, including Modern Pizza, which was closed for the week. This one is in Dave Portnoy's top 10 and has been ranked by some as the best in the country. But we didn't get to go there. We did find this barbecue place. The pastrami, not that good. I was a little upset with that.
So you settled for mid instead of the best.
Well, we didn't know where else to go. All right. Also stopped off at WWE headquarters. Finally got my picture with the gigantic, massive world title belt and the best Pokestop in the world, Andre the Giant. All right. We had a fireworks show from our hotel room in Stamford, Connecticut. Very, very pathetic one. And
size doesn't matter.
This is what we were greeted to in New York. Just rain everywhere.
I mean,
a rare hatless Jay.
Get away!
I know, right? I took my hat off so it wouldn't fly away, and then I held it. So, and then here's the picture for Eastwood. I randomly pulled over. Okay, I literally randomly pulled over because we were about to do a Pokemon raid. I looked to my left, and we are in front of the Trump Tower.
Ooh.
So, and in that moment, I thought of Eastwood because I feel like Eastwood's a Trump guy, if I can remember properly.
You're remembering properly.
Okay. So there it is. Eastwood was here. I'm hoping he saw it.
Feels weird seeing it so empty without all the tiki torches.
Yeah. So I'm gonna take that off our screen, and that was that. So the Pokemon Go Fest was like over 3 days, and we went from 9 to 1 it's on this island in New York City called Randall Island, and it's like there's just Pokemon everywhere, and there's people. There are like thousands of people there. It was oppressively hot. It like rained intense like an hour before we went over, so all the fields were like just waterlogged, and of course because of that, extra humid. But the worst part about it is, okay, so it's $30 to go to this thing, and you're supposed to get all these cool quests and extras, and yeah, don't get me wrong, there is some cool stuff, but they're also supposed to boost the shiny rate. And I caught almost 800 Pokemon over the course of yesterday, and I only got 8 shiny. What? And on a regular community day, which is free, by the way, where it's just one Pokemon is like more abundant everywhere, I've caught as many as 30 shiny in 3 hours.
That's a ripoff.
So I'm like, this is the second year in a row we've done this, and I've heard of people we can hear people walking around, oh, I've got 15 shinies so far and stuff. Rachel Brosnahan, I don't know I should know who that is. That's
you should absolutely know who that is.
Right click and
Marvelous Mrs. Maisel. She's Lois Lane and Superman
Legacy.
Oh
yeah, there you go. Honestly, there's just so many people walking around that you just have no idea who's who.
Rachel's a Pokemon nerd. Ugh.
Yeah, well, I mean, like a lot of people are, But anyway, it was. I just wish it wasn't so oppressively hot, because by the end of the day, we were both like we walked like 4 miles, maybe even more. And there's like this big section in the middle of the park that's like useless, and they make you like walk extra around. And we were just done and wanted to get back to the car, and that extra walking was like almost caused divorce.
It's Pokemon Go Fest always in July.
Yeah, well, they do other events across the world. So there are some that are similar to this that they do in I don't remember. They do one they do a couple in Japan, for instance, in April and February. But the one they do for Pokemon Go Fest in the United States is always in July.
Oh, well, you're always going to deal with the heat then.
I mean, probably. I mean, this is the first time they've done it in New York 2 years in a row. So I'm kind of hoping next year they do it somewhere else. The rumor was they were supposed to do it in Chicago this year, but they didn't. So anyway, yeah, it was just it was a different shade of hot. When we drove home, and of course it was 7 o'clock at night, so it's obviously a little bit cooler, but it felt different. Like we were in Satan's asshole or something. I mean that's an accurate description of New York too.
Yes,
but,
that's a Wednesday in New York.
Yeah, so it was last year. I remember it being hot and everything, but I'm pretty happy with how I held up. I mean, I had my big backpack on with a couple different chargers, and we'd bought this special little chair that could fold up and fit in the backpack, and didn't use it once. But I just carried that around. I did pretty well. I mean, I don't go out much. I'm obviously not in the best of shape, but that's a lot of walking.
I used to go out all the time in the summer just to play basketball.
I literally grew up in the South. You'd think I could take this.
You would. I think you got soft. Boston made you.
Oh, I definitely got soft.
Boston made you weak.
Yeah. I think it's more just ever since I got laid off from Bose, I stay inside all day in AC, and that has absolutely made me soft. So
it's okay. It's okay.
But we didn't I'm just, the only thing that's disappointing is I like it when we go places because we always try to have something different. And I guess we did by going to that barbecue place. But it was kind of okay barbecue.
That mid barbecue place instead of the best pizza in the world.
Right. I'll be honest though. I also had brisket and Texas sausages, and those were really good. And she had pulled pork, and that was pretty good. And I have a high standard for barbecue, so I'm not saying it was the best in the world, but it was good.
So you're saying they use salt. That's why you didn't
No, I don't care.
What is this flavor?
No, like they used I got pastrami. I love pastrami, and it was just so dry. And like,
I hate dry.
yeah,
You cannot have dry pastrami.
I reheated it here with some of the sauce that we have, and it was better, but yeah, it was not great. But then like on the ride home, like I was starving. I stopped at the first rest stop that we could find, and of course I had McDonald's, which didn't go to because it had Chipotle, which was like the dream rest stop. I was like, oh my god,
Chipotle,
a rest stop with Chipotle. I was like, hell yeah.
What the fuck is Chipotle?
Are you joking?
No, what is Chipotle?
It's like a burrito place.
You mean Chipotle?
Yeah, whatever. Like I didn't think I was gonna get called on like a slight whatever.
What the fuck is Chipotle? Oh my God.
That's how we say it up north.
No, it's not. That's not a thing. That's absolutely not a thing. No one
That's how we say it up north.
I've literally never heard another human being.
I usually call it chipotle, okay?
Call it Chipotle. What the fuck?
It's literally how they say it in the commercials. I'm hearing impaired. Leave me alone. You are literally bullying. You are bullying a disabled person.
Are you trying to Joe Biden me right now?
Yes. I'm looking for any out I got.
He's trying to Joe Biden me right now. Holy shit.
I found this random comedian. I tweeted the video. His name is Josh Johnson. And I saw that Kendrick Lamar video came out earlier this week.
Not like us on the 4th of July.
Yeah. So
diabolical.
So I in the recommended, like I played for because my wife was in the other room. My wife was in the other room, and she kept hearing like because I think it played like 3 times because I was like trying to watch what was going on, and she comes in and she's like, "What are you listening to? I'm so sick of this like whatever the beat was. I don't think she cared for it." I'm like, I didn't know that part yet though. I was like, "Oh, are you mad because it's about Drake?" She goes, "No, what is this?" I'm like, "Oh, it's Kendrick Lamar, and the song is about Drake." She goes, "Oh, I heard about that. I didn't know that's what this was." She likes Drake. Okay.
Double L take.
so anyway, she's like, so what are they like real fighting? I'm like, yeah. And she goes, "Oh." And I said, and in the recommended, I was like, she's like, wanted me to explain it to her. I'm like, I don't know. I don't really know the whole story. But in the recommended, this Josh Johnson guy was there.
I'm pretty sure I explained the entire story before.
Well, let me tell you, Josh Johnson, this comedian, explained it better because in the recommended, it was Kendrick Lamar versus Drake for white people. So I was like, "You're speaking my language. Let me give it a listen." So then, like the whole ride home, we listened to that dude's like stuff, pretty much because he's like really good at like describing current events, and he also covered the Biden versus Trump thing. The Trump yeah. I like this guy. I definitely like. I would go see this guy live for sure.
Oh, so you found a new comedian.
Yeah. So
that's always nice.
And now I kind of understand how the whole Drake Kendrick thing happened because I guess from what I understand, as it was explained to me,
let's see how well this comedian explained it.
So apparently, like they used to kind of be friends, and Drake took Kendrick on tour in the early days, helped him glow up a little bit. They've been on songs together, and then there was a song that I don't know. All right, I don't remember who did the Big Sean, maybe. Big Sean did a song and Kendrick was on it, and there was like a verse on that song that was like the Kendrick verse. Control. And yes, Control. And he talked about like wanting to be the best, or like he being the best, and like basically treating it like a sport, you know. Right. And then J. Cole did a song with Drake where they talked about they're the big 2, but Kendrick is good too, or something like that. And so it's really the big 3. And then Kendrick did a song with
Future.
Okay. And yes, that's the person. And he said, fuck the big three. It's just me or something like that.
It's just big me. Yes.
And Drake took it extremely personal.
Mm-hmm.
And did something else happen? There's beef with Pusha T. Pusha T murdered Drake.
Yeah, the Pusha T beef was older. Yeah, Drake this Pusha T. Pusha T exposed the fact that Drake had a son that he was hiding with, that he had with an adult film actress.
Right. And then I don't know, things devolved from there. There's other parts of the story, but like in Drake, I guess Drake took it really personal. And this guy like basically said Drake writes songs about feelings, and he was in them often. And to Kendrick, this was just about being a sport. Mm-hmm. Like to him, it's like hip hop is a sport. We all talk about being the greatest, but like you got to keep score or something. And Drake was all like, well, I didn't like that he said those things about me. And then I see him and he's just nice or something like that. And I don't know. So something else. I think Drake made mention of his wife like stepping out on him and his son wasn't his.
Yeah, and then Kendrick, called Drake a snitch and a pedophile, and it went from there.
Yeah, so basically, I feel like I understand it pretty well right now.
That's not bad at all, Jake. It's a golf clap.
All right. I'll take it.
That comedian was effective at giving a layman's expression for the whites.
Yeah. So anyway, that was a lot of me talking. How was your day?
My day was not spent learning about things that I already know about. I was not expecting to do a podcast. It's Sunday, so usually I just watch some anime. I watched the last 2 episodes of Kaiju number 8, one probably the best anime of the year so far. Fantastic. Then I was playing some First Descendant, and then Drake, and then I got this message from Jay just begging me to do this podcast.
Yeah, it was begging, like you should.
So I was like, oh, perfect. Now we get to do the show. I had to think for a minute because I had the show planned because I forgot you were going away, and then when you said you weren't able to do it, I was like, oh, completely forgot about the plan. Did the stream, and then I was like, hold up, what was I going to talk about? What happened this week? but I figured it out. And the best, the easiest thing I was thinking of, like, oh, we can finally talk about The Boys, because if Jay had not caught up on The Boys, this podcast would not have happened. that was a condition that he caught up with The Boys, and he finally did. It's actually funny that this is finally the season that Jay is enjoying The Boys, because it's the one where most people don't like it so far. It's the most divisive season of The Boys by far. It's currently, The Boys is currently sitting at 52% on Rotten Tomatoes for the audience, and it's over 90% for the critics. And but after this past week's episode, we're seeing more and more criticism. Forbes just did a piece criticizing it, but those are the big controversy. TruthCon was probably the more divisive episode of the season, because it seemed like funny, and a lot of Republicans just realized, oh, they're making fun of me, but I think this was like truly the most controversial and divisive episode. This past week, of course, was that's some cool stuff. I did a video about it on the channel, but Butcher, basically, we finally got the follow-up to Butcher. He, of course, abducted Dr. Shamir and has been torturing him with Joe Kessler, his old CIA buddy, and like many people were speculating, Joe Kessler was, of course, a figment of Butcher's imagination. He's basically got this angel on his shoulder, devil thing, where he's hallucinating. He's seeing Becca, and she's trying to appeal to his bitter nature, whereas Kessler represents the darker side. Specifically, I think it's like the Butcher from the comics, and he's just trying to encourage him to be more ruthless. He's also apparently in control of the parasite that's inside Butcher that's killing him, and which saved him from Ezekiel. So that I think, and now to me was like the best part of the episode. The main plot though was about Huey and the boys. They had to infiltrate this alt-right party where Newman, the Seven, they're all there to basically convince some Republican politicians to commit treason and go along with their plan to usurp the president, to put Newman in charge. So the plan was they got Web Weaver, their version of Spider-Man, who's a huge heroin addict, and apparently really into the definitely a sub. He's into the BDSM, very big into the BDSM scene among the elites. So the plan was to have Huey, even though Huey, he just lost his father, have Huey go undercover as Web Weaver and plant some bugs. Obviously they didn't quite know what to expect, but all they knew was that Web Weaver was invited to the party. So they had access to him because he's a CI. So he dresses up with Web Weaver, goes into the party at Tech Knight's mansion, and he's planning his listening devices. And then of course he finds out the real reason Web Weaver was invited, because Tech Knight is into some crazy shit. We got if you watched Gen V, the college version of The Boys, that spinoff, that's when we first got wind of some of Tech Knight's proclivities. He's like really into holes, like to the point where there was one point where he has relations with a tree. And
I remember that now. I didn't think of that until you just said that.
Yeah.
That was like buried in the like.
Yeah, so that's what we knew about Tech Knight going in, but then this one he's like into all sorts of crazy BDSM kink stuff, and so he brought Web Weaver in. The first, one of the things he would do is sit on a cake and fart on it. It's really gross. But the former is she the former CEO at this point of what she was
Ashley Barrett?
Yeah, Homelander dismissed her or put her in her place at least, but she's still around. She was invited because apparently her and Tech Knight do the thing. She's like, we found out she's a Dami, she's a Dami type because of the former anchor for the Vault version of Fox News, who was into that sort of stuff, but when she got demoted, he lost interest. And but so her and Tech Knight do the whole BDSM thing. So they basically end up tag teaming Huey, and the craziest, grossest, absolute disgusting shit they subject, like just brutal. Huey just basically is sexually assaulted by these two people, including his Tech Knight, who was his childhood hero. It's pretty brutal. Of course, the boys eventually get him out of there, but this
episode is not to be confused. Huey's situation not to be confused with the latest Diddy documentary.
Though it is close. It seems there are going to be parallels, but
you want to know what's really funny though? Like last night, WWE had their Money in the Bank pay-per-view, and the big sponsor, like that had all the ad runs and everything, was The Boys, and it's just funny that after this week's episode that was happening, and Colby Minifie, who is Ashley, was like actually like did a spot for them,
Tech Knight is mostly Batman. He's mostly their parody of Batman. He's had his Tech Knight cave, the Bat Cave. He had his own Alfred, who was a black butler who ended up strangling him to death.
That was a scene that was very uncomfortable when he was talking to A Train, right?
Yeah.
He was talking
Yeah.
to A Train. He's like, "Oh, I bet your ancestors couldn't outrun mine." And I was like, "Ooh,
Tech Night. Yeah. Yeah. That was a rough one. They made it very clear that these are all old money racist people
oh yeah,
at the party. One of the characters was literally supposed to be Mike Pence. They had that whole bit where Newman mentioned that he refuses to be alone in a room with any woman except his wife or his mistress. There was and he the stuff A Train had to sit through.
I like seeing A Train's evolution.
It's really good. That's one of the There's definitely been some issues with the character development and stuff for the season. Frenchies for one, but A Train's I'm really appreciating. Especially the scene where everything goes to shit. So they bug they bug everything. They're trying to break in to save Huey because he loses communication when he goes into the tech cave, and then they break in. They find Sister Sage. They shoot her in the head, but before that, she basically forces Mother's Milk to have a panic attack because because she psychologically just destroys him, and they think it's a heart attack. So A Train has to speed him to a hospital, and then when he stops after he drops him off, and because there's this kid just waiting outside, and he just sees him, and they just have this exchange this look, and he looks at A Train like he's a proper hero, and I just was like, oh, that's such a great moment because A Train definitely has lost touch with the idea of what it is to be a hero. He's very cynical because of how they do the hero system, but just seeing that kind of further cemented his growth. He wants to be a real proper hero, and I really appreciate that. Was a really good scene. But people obviously had issues with the episode itself, but I think the biggest controversy was from the comments about I don't think this season would be quite as controversial if it wasn't for the writers speaking. Specifically Eric Kripke. He's in hot water this week because he made, now obviously the political stuff, people calling it woke. He said, "Oh, you don't like it, don't watch it, whatever." That's fine. But he was asked, he did an interview with Variety, and they specifically asked him about the scene, and because it was obviously a very sensitive scene, and people pointed out not just the fact, objectively, what he said was fucking horrible, but I'll pull it up here. But what people really didn't like, and I think what the problem here is the hypocrisy and the fact that, and this is kind of the issue that kind of people were like, it's like we can meme about how, the Republicans didn't know they were being made fun of, but the issue is that it felt like before The Boys satire was a little more equal opportunity and brave, whereas this is a classic case of, you're just a coward and a hypocrite. So they were asked what the show was trying to say, because Huey was sexually assaulted by the superhero he looked up to, and at the end of the episode he breaks down with Starlight, cries, saying he's not actually okay. And Kripke responded by saying, "Well, that's a dark way to look at it. We view it as hilarious." in response, of course, to a scene depicting him being viciously sexually assaulted by two people, including his childhood hero, right after his father died in his arms, and he broke down crying at the end of it. And people pointed out that the showrunner had very different comments when he was asked, when the show had very different comments when they were asked about the scene from season 1 where Starlight was assaulted by the Deep, and they brought up his comments here when he said, "I've never worked so hard or stressed so much about a scene in my life before or since." Kripke told Screenwriter Festivals Online in 2021, "Because if I got that wrong, it's not just that it would fail as a scene, it would be hurtful, and I felt that pressure and responsibility all throughout. So obviously, culture warriors were like, oh well, that's predictable. Yeah, men being sexually assaulted, haha, that's hilarious. Woman scene for a woman, oh, well, we have to take this very seriously. I have to stress, we have to make sure this is done right. But for when it's a guy, it's like, oh, that's hilarious, right?
I don't think that's an unfair criticism, though. I mean, I didn't. I'm gonna be honest. Like, I kind of thought a little bit about it, but like, I do feel like in general that is something that does get kind of laughed off.
100%.
But I mean, yeah, I see where they're coming from a little bit, but I don't think of it that way in terms of his comments, because I do feel like when it happens to a woman, it is a little bit more serious, because like it's way more common, number one. And number two, I do feel in most cases, men are a little bit more powerful and able to take advantage.
That's the thing. I don't know if it actually is more common, because
really, okay, I would buy that actually, but
because not for one, as we've already clearly seen, it's not viewed the same way in society,
right?
But when people think of assault on men, they think, oh, big strong man who's assaulting, or they maybe think of prison, that, which is a thing and a problem, but they don't think about young boys.
Yeah, they also probably don't think about man on man, I guess.
Yeah, and and obviously they think very differently about when an older woman
right
assaults an underage boy. Like that's viewed very differently as well. So I don't think so. I would be skeptical if it's way more. I would say it's just not taken nearly as seriously or given nearly as much attention.
Yeah, I'll say I don't. The scene was uncomfortable because it was meant to be. Like that's like just an uncomfortable situation when somebody doesn't want to go through that, regardless of who they are. But like, I don't know. I do feel like I understand the criticism. I just don't know if it's worth like making that huge a deal over, if that makes sense.
I think the issue is just, I think the bigger issue, obviously the comments are just gross.
Yeah.
But especially since they made the scene uncomfortable, but then they played it as like it's a serious thing by having that scene at the end where Huey breaks down, and then to hear the writer just laugh it off like, oh, that's what a hilarious scene, while literally the interviewer like served you a layup. Oh, this is a very obviously a serious scene. What did you have to say about it? And he did, and even then he was like, oh my god, it's all like, why do you think it's dark? What?
Yeah,
that's so funny.
And I do think that's worth criticizing.
That's I think it's just a larger problem where creatives probably should not like let the work speak for itself and not be so quick to like go out and just say whatever.
Yeah,
because like I think it's a problem for sure, and I think it just is addressing getting into a larger problem with society as a whole. But I think in the context of just the boys, it's like, yeah, it was an uncomfortable episode. The showrunners are dickhead, and a coward. But it's like I'm not getting my pitchforks out exactly, but I think it's definitely opened a lot more people's eyes and kind of just become amplified, because just in general this season has been more divisive. I think it's a good overall season. I definitely think it's more up and down. I think they'll have like one episode that's just like incredible and everything's hitting, and another episode where it's like, this isn't really hitting. This is rough.
I agree with that.
Miss. And then just having the comments from the showrunner or the writers coming out, it just makes everything just 10 times worse. Like if they didn't say just anything, like it wouldn't have been nearly as bad. But then when you see it, and then when you think about because when you're looking at a piece of art, people have their own interpretations. They have their own, as you know, it's part of the fun of it. You wonder what they were trying to say here, and and a lot of people kind of romanticize stuff, especially if they like it. Like, oh, maybe they were saying this, or maybe they're just trying to say this. And then when you pull back the curtain and you realize, oh, the people writing this just aren't even that smart, you're like, oh, fuck. And it kind of affects how you start viewing the work. And I think that's done the season more of the service than necessarily a huge drop in quality. I just think if the writers just weren't talking, like the season would be mostly well received.
Well, I feel like we didn't I feel like we kind of buried the lead a little bit, because to me, my big takeaway from that episode was how it ended and how Firecracker got her way out of, basically got her, held her spot. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Right when Sister Sage, basically fumbled the bag.
Yeah.
And how Newman had to bail him out. She secured her spot by becoming Homelander's new milker. I think the most, usually so far, the most interesting part of the parts of this season have been the whole Butcher thing and Homelander's development and Alpha. Absolutely.
Dude, casual, if no pressure, but if you're free.
Yeah, absolutely. But would love to have you on like old times. But yeah, I feel like they're obviously we know we could see this coming from a mile away. They're leading to January. They're going to do it January 6th. That's what this whole thing's leading to.
Yeah.
But it's going to be interesting with the Butcher. I alluded to this in my video. People are wondering how different this is going to be from the comics. Potentially, they've already made a lot of changes from the comics, but it's a question of, will Butcher potentially go full villain? Be the new one.
I would believe it.
Yes, I absolutely. We've been saying this every time. You have that deep. You have a crippling deep dish addiction.
I don't think we talked about last week's episode because I wasn't caught up. I did not like the stuff with Huey's dad. I understand what they were doing.
Yeah.
It was just, I don't know if it's because I've lost my dad, but it was hard to go through. And I'm not judging it as being bad or good. It was just hard. It was hard. I almost wish they just let him die. I don't.
Yeah,
but I understand where in the character development it helped, though. So it's tough.
Yeah, to me it was like I felt like they should have. I think I don't like that. The way they decided to do it, because I thought, okay, either Huey. I think the standard thing would be to just have Huey make the right choice. I'm not going to use the V. I'm going to let him go, and that be the end of it. Or he's going to save him. He's going to get powers, and either he'll help them or the boys, or eventually it'll kind of go to shit. And just to have him get him in the episode, get his dad back in the episode, then just have him go on a murder rampage just to die in the same episode. I thought that was just unnecessary. I didn't think it was. I didn't think the payoff justified, having that happen. I felt like it would have just been better if that was where they were going to go with it. I felt it would have just been better to just expand on that moment and have Huey and his mom argue, and ultimately decide that it's better that he just doesn't give him the V and they just kind of accept and just say goodbye.
Now I'm wondering if this might lead to a payoff we haven't got to yet. Like, I'm wondering if there's going to be more story with his mom. Like, we're going to find out that her disappearance was not just how she made it seem. Like, there's something more to it.
I kind of don't think so. To me, it feels like they just didn't know what to do with Huey. And I think part of the issue is that because the show's gotten so big and because, some of the stars in it have gotten so big and their schedules are much busier, they've had to kind of write around it and kind of accommodate for the fact that, they might not have as much time or to dedicate it. That's why they have a lot of stuff happening where Butcher's over here doing his thing, Homelander's over here doing his thing. So I think that could be part of it. To me, it just feels like they needed something for Huey to do. And
this is the reason why I didn't mean to cut you off, but like, this is the reason why I think about it. Cause isn't she like selling like Vought perfume or something at the beginning?
It sounded more like an Avon thing where she's just shilling like some multi-marketing level marketing shit where she's just shilling Vought products as an affiliate, like not like an actual Vought employee.
I don't know. I don't know this. Like, I know this is delved far off from the comics and everything, but like, just the fact that maybe I missed it. Okay. I don't remember Huey telling his mom about the V.
No,
there you go.
So he took out the V and he was about to use it, and then he changed his mind and put it back in his pocket, and then she jump scared him. So I think what happened was she was right there. So I think what happened was she approached, saw Huey was with his dad, just kind of waited to see, how it would play out, just to give him a moment. That she saw him pull out the V, recognized it, and was like, and then when she saw that he wasn't going to do it, she just kind of pickpocketed him.
But and again, this might be my ignorance. Would a random person in the Vought verse, okay, the boys verse, would they know what a vial of V actually is?
I would think so, yes, because it was a secret, but then we had that whole big, arc where it got exposed to the world that the supers were created in a lab, with this compound V. That's why Vought, is kind of
their shares tanked.
Yeah, they've been imploding because the people have people found out obviously Vault's going through a lot, so I think it would be now it would be, especially since parents, you went to specifically get their kids injected with the V.
Yeah.
To we know that as well, to give them a power. And that's the thing that happened even after the controversy.
Yeah, and I'm just thinking out loud. I know my brother reads The Boys, so I was like talking to him about it last night. And I was actually really surprised to hear that like he watches like way more TV than I do and movies and stuff.
I bet.
And he says he gave up on The Boys in season 2. And he literally reads The Boys comics. Like he said, yeah, it got really far away from like reality or like what they're doing, and I don't know. I just haven't felt like keeping up.
And that could happen. If you started on like a book or a comic or something, and you see an adaptation like make like dramatic changes, and it's weird. Like depending on who you ask, I see a lot of media people say the TV show is way better than the comic. It's a product of its time, and others say the comic is better. So I don't know. Maybe at some point I'll read it myself to compare it and see what it is. But yeah, I think the show's been. I think the show, as someone who didn't go into it as someone who read the comic, I thought season 1 was really good. I thought it was kind of a breath of fresh air, and they've had some up and down moments, but I thought overall it's been very good. I think this season has definitely been the most up and down in terms of like the dramatic shift in like quality from episode to episode. Like, because it's all like has some really good stuff in each episode, but yeah, definitely, especially the humor, it's definitely more up hit or miss than it to me there's been in past episodes. Like I thought the D20 bit was just absolutely brilliant. It was like, especially since it's happening, the actual D20 Expo is happening like this year. So the fact that they had an episode making fun of D20 Expo and the Amazon interactive product placement thing, it's fucking hilarious. Absolutely loved it. They nailed it. Yeah, Lucky Ray says, yeah, Lucky Ray is the comic is just edgy for the sake. Yeah, I think that's kind of the takeaway I've heard from critics of the comic, that is just overly edgy, and there's that edginess definitely could apply to the show, but they definitely have obviously scaled it down and kind of tuned it to their own sensibilities.
Yeah, so I mean, I definitely think maybe it's because it is getting a little bit more grounded is why I'm appreciating the season a little bit more, but I don't know. I do feel like it's slowed down a little bit.
Yeah, and I think I overall have really still enjoyed season 4, and I definitely would enjoy it even more if Eric Kripke would just shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
just not say anything. I like where I think the one things they've done really well with because character development has been an issue, and definitely the overly edgy stuff is kind of getting a little old. But I thought Butcher, Homelander, and A-Train have been handled really well this season.
I don't know if I needed to know that, Steven, but who knows? It might not end that way. So I did like Soldier Boy, though. I think it's just because I like the actor.
Yeah, Jensen Ackles is just goated.
Yeah, a lot of people are wanting him to be the next Batman.
I don't care. I just want Jensen Ackles in stuff.
Anything. Yeah.
If you tell me your movie or show has Jensen Ackles in it, I will be right there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. The comic definitely they've definitely already gone way different from the comic for that ending to stick. But
I know you're talking about the comics specifically, Burrito, but I don't know. I'm not mad about it. Like I don't know. There's just I don't know. It just stood out to me as something I don't know. I wish I knew, but who knows? I'll probably forget about it after the show's over.
Yeah. Usually, etiquette is just to be like, hey, don't just randomly drop the ending of a thing that people may not
and it's true though. It is true. It probably will not end the same. You know what I mean?
I mean, they've already with some of the changes they've already made. They can't, but they can't end it that way. But yeah, I think the writers are definitely going to make big changes from the way the comics. I do think it's very possible that Butcher is going to go bad, and that'd be a whole thing. But 100% they're doing January 6th. So there's no way they're not doing January 6th. Oh, we got a classic JayShockBlast meme face.
Oh, I'm usually an Adidas guy, but if these are legit and purchasable, I think I need these Nikes.
Ooh, Deadpool and Wolverine.
It says Kobe 6 Proto.
They got, the Deadpool and Wolverine in the Kobe's. Ooh.
I listen. I became a shoe guy this week. Okay,
I got
like
your Harley Quinn.
I have shoes that are not to be worn. Okay.
Yeah, I gotta get mine. Hold up.
So I am now a shoe head, apparently, and we shout out to WB, shillaroo. That is what I shall do. We got that. Sadot got the Captain Boomerangs.
I got the Nike, the Air Boomers.
Those did come out really good.
The Captain Boomerangs.
Oh, there's a little boomerang. Oh, that's cool.
A little boomerang.
I want to see what the Deadshot and King Shark ones look like, but I haven't seen anybody else post that they got something like this.
Yeah. You're literally the only other person I've seen post that they got. Post that they got this. Who else did they deliver it to?
Yeah. So, but man, those are kind of sick.
I guess, do we have to hashtag spawn that?
Thank you, WB, for hooking us up with that cool stuff. I guess this could segue right into the new season.
Hyruller's favorite part of the show.
Yeah.
We finally get to talk about Suicide.
It says these are concepts. Dang it.
They were probably cost like $300 anyway.
Yeah, that's true.
They're Kobe's.
Yeah.
Kobe's do not come cheap.
Well, I did try to get the Spider-Man Adidas ones, and I actually got my order through, and then they canceled it like 3 weeks later.
Sounds like a skill.
Not the Miles ones, the Peter ones. Although I do wish that I got the Miles ones now, and I have looked into getting them since for the meme.
Just for the meme.
Yeah.
Meme special. But yeah, Hyruller's favorite new game. Older game. Suicide Squad Kill Justice League. Finally got just out of nowhere. Got an announcement. I think we all assumed that we'd be waiting until the end of the month.
Yeah.
And nope, it's this coming week. Karen Freeze coming to Call the Manager this this week on July 11th. Oh,
sorry, my back is still hurting and I need to readjust.
Ooh. And of course the absolute perfect top comment to describe this the reception to the Mrs. Freeze reveal. Sweet Baby Inc. ruined this game horribly.
Yes, because one of Sweet Baby's employees personally designed this.
Yeah. To be fair, this is a fucking horrible design.
I don't disagree. I really don't. But maybe what if she has that Karen attitude?
I can't imagine her speaking in any other way. But being annoying. This is not great. Obviously Jason Schreier kind of put that whole thing to bed about exactly what specifically went wrong that contributed mostly to the downfall of Suicide Squad. It was according to his reporting, just the fact that the founders who bailed before the game came out had no idea what they were doing.
Yeah, they wanted them all to be able to drive cars.
Yeah, it was pretty bad. But that's not to say that there was definitely no politics inserted into this the game. There clearly was. I mean, we're getting the Arkham. We're finally getting the Arkham Knight Harley skin that people have been asking for sometime in season 2. Maybe
I just don't understand how that's not a day one.
Yeah, it's unclear if that's even going to be day one of season 1 of season 2, because I think it was in the episode 4 part of the roadmap. So it's unclear if it's going to arrive for episode 3, which is when Mrs. Freeze arrives, or if that skin's going to come in like 6 weeks later or 6 to 8 weeks later in the mid-season update. But even that skin is of course they obviously censored it. because who likes money, and
Right.
but yeah, I think the consensus, obviously people are going to always cry about Sweet Baby Inc., but it's just weird that they went this direction. Like
Yeah.
it's like they could have just done Killer Frost. Like
I know. It really is really, really crazy. I don't get it.
I don't. Yeah, it's the middle of so far they keep Jay logging in. The only thing that keeps Jay logging in is that damn redemption.
Which, by the way, I am in the process of doing now for the first time in a few days.
Let's see it. Let's see if you got. Let's hope you didn't.
Yeah, it'll obviously take a minute or two, but
it's just it was just a weird choice. Like I understand you want to add another female character to the roster, but going gender swapping Victor instead of just doing Killer Frost or even Nora, like that would have been kind of interesting. Like an alternate universe Nora, since we're doing Elseworlds, like okay, a world where Nora is Mrs. Freeze, that could have been a thing, or their daughter, the daughter of Nora and Victor. They could have went with that.
Can't have too many daughters.
Yeah, I mean, they were going to go. I mean, they're already going to take the L in back-to-back seasons, going from Mrs. Freeze to Deadshot's daughter. You might as well just do double daughter. Just have that whole thing be a thing. But yeah, just not just going. Oh, we want to add an ice character. Okay, how about Captain Cold or Mr. Freeze? Has to be a woman. Okay, Killer Frost.
I'm gonna be completely honest with you. I have 4,000 V-Bucks that have been in my account for over 2 months, and I am absolutely just going to buy her outright and not go through the grinding.
Oh yeah, that's the other thing that they didn't comment on it, but we're assuming that's how the episodes are going to run. Now they did lower the season grind, it starting for Suicide Squad in episode 2's update in the of season 1 to make it faster to get through your season rank requirements. So I'm assuming it's going to be the basically same grind where you can pay $10 to unlock her right away, or you just do it through the season thing. But I think it will definitely be faster than it was for the Joker, based on the precedent they set in episode 2. Instead of 35 levels, maybe it's like 10 or 15.
All right, there's your update.
Is it there?
No.
Okay.
The fuck would it? Why the fuck would it be there? Like, I know that like there are employees that still follow me. I know that they see me. I know I'm not bitching about it every day this time.
Yep, it's an ice axe, by the way.
But I know that they've seen my tweets.
Definitely.
I know that they see tweets and like them. And I just don't understand how however it got fixed last time, somebody hasn't just like said, can we just like get this done so we can shut the fuck up?
I actually paid them extra this time to not fix it.
And I actually believe you. I actually, because that is something that you would do.
100%.
Number one. And number two, fuck you.
That's what I do it for. I do it for the love of the game.
Yeah.
I literally DM every dev at WB and Rocksteady that follows you and said, whatever you do not redeem this for Jay this time. I'll literally pay you to not.
Well, I'll tell you, you don't have to email support because they're certainly not going to. I can't tell you how many times I've been told, oh, it could take up to 72 hours to show up in your account. So just check back when in 72 hours. I'm like, no, it's not going to work. This is the 8th time you've done it.
That, which is funny because all my experiences with WB support have been 100% positive and super helpful. And
up until this, I would agree.
But it's specifically because I put the word out to fuck with you.
Yeah.
I made sure. Yeah, I'm sitting at 2,700, and I don't think I used my token from the pre-order either.
Oh, I have 2 tokens, so
yeah, I think I just straight up plus I finished the battle pass. I think I literally just straight up used the V-Bucks that we got as an apology.
yeah.
So I should still have the token left. So I'm chilling. But yeah, I definitely don't anticipate spending too much or anything really. I'm just going to probably unlock Mrs. Freeze right away and just call it there, because I'm not even sure if I want to buy the battle pass this time. I mean, I might as well, I guess, because you just get it back in
Right.
in currency. So whatever. But it's just like
well, I ended up with 2 tokens because I bought on one console and got from them on the other.
Yeah. So so I can use a token if I want, and I can buy Mrs. Freeze outright, and then just get the have the battle pass, and then just use that battle pass to pay. But it's just like I might even just farm. I might just see how long it takes, and just for the guy to just play with Joker, and unlock it the normal way, because I already know the shortcut, so it's not going to take that long.
Yeah, and that's exactly what they tell me they're doing, but it's just not working. Yeah, I don't get it. Yeah,
I'm 100% making sure Jay does not get this. This is one of my goals to make sure Jay never gets it. Everyone needs to buy the pass so you support the game. Still for this. Yeah, speaking of the Justice League, word on the street, Jay, is that this is the season when the big reveal happens, and we find out that we didn't really kill the Justice League.
Oh, is that why we're fighting Superman and the Flash and Green Lantern and Superman again?
Correct. Well, no, that's because they had to cut some corners with the boss fight design during development, because they didn't have time. But
they better at least be different fights. I think that they're going to be the fights are like Brainiac as both of them together, maybe.
I think they're just going to have a section that's the Flash fight and a section that's Superman.
That would honestly.
Jay, what did MJ from the MCU say?
I can't think of another line that she says now.
This is the only line that matters, Jay. Expect disappointment, and you'll never be disappointed.
I thought she said, Peter.
Yeah.
Peter. Anyway.
That is exactly. I literally am expecting it to just be the exact Flash boss fight we had previously, with no changes, and then the Superman one.
I guess I could buy this, but
according to Miller, it's a fusion, both fused in one character. I'm curious how that's actually going to look. Still no word on the PvP mode, which I'm thinking maybe there are I was expecting a blog actually, but given the circumstances,
why would they do that?
Given the circumstances, it kind of feels like, yeah, because when they first said that they were scaling back the blog things, and they're only going to do blog updates for major updates. When they first said that, I was like, oh, this is just the Avengers phase where they're just preparing to, peel out, and they're just not going to do any updates anymore. But, part of me was like, okay, well, if they are going to do that, like they said, then yeah, surely they're going to have a blog on Friday, because they announced season 2 is coming out next week. Like, why would you not have a Friday blog going into more detail about the season 2 update that's coming out next week? But we didn't get a blog, so do you think we even get a trailer this time?
Yeah, I think we will.
Yeah, like maybe like obviously we're not going to get another insider, but gameplay. I would hope at least a gameplay trailer. Maybe they're going to do it. Maybe they're going to do a Tuesday blog or something instead of a Friday. It would feel weird if they just it would explain. We would have an immediate explanation for why, but it would be interesting if they were they're still dropping the episode, but they're just not going to have a blog,
just cold dropping it.
Just maybe here's a gameplay trailer announcing, come get it. Here it is, and here it is, and just call it a day. Because as Jason Schreier reported in his article, according to what he's been told, essentially we're left on Suicide Squad with a skeleton crew. He said that they have a bunch of Rocksteady people working on a director's cut of Hogwarts Legacy. They have other Rocksteady, I guess the brass, the management. They're pitching their next game, which is going to be single player this time, not multiplayer. And then whoever's left is just maintaining Suicide Squad, just getting out the content. They confirmed in an interview with IGN after this article came out that they're going to finish the rest of the roadmap. Miller followed that up by doing Twitter posts, kind of giving more detail on that. According to his sourcing and his data mining, he's saying that they basically condensed a bunch of stuff and are still planning on releasing the full roadmap. But the original plan was apparently maybe a 5-season thing, but it's going to be all condensed down, and they're just going to have those 4 seasons drop, and then that's just going to be it.
This is a very good question. What do you even think the director's cut of Hogwarts Legacy is?
To me, that says we fucked up by not having paid DLC. So we're going to sell a director's cut with maybe some cut content and some quality of life updates to make some more money on this game. Just milk a little bit more out of it.
Yeah.
That's just to me what it is. Why? Because I'm pretty sure they're just working on I'm pretty sure WWE just had them jump right to Hogwarts Legacy 2 instead of building off on Hogwarts Legacy, which I think if I know they wanted to do the live service thing. They definitely, and they probably just thought it'd be better to just jump to a sequel. But I think their plan now for the sequel is to just do a Hogwarts Legacy online, just like a GTA thing. and they could have done that. If they had designed Hogwarts Legacy to have multiplayer functionality, play Quidditch and go to classes with your people, and made it, of course, current gen only. That would have I thought that would have made so much money. Like duel with other people online, play Quidditch. You have story updates, and expansions. Like if that's the plan for Hogwarts Legacy 2, they're going to make even more money than they did off the first Hogwarts Legacy.
Yeah, I didn't actually finish Hogwarts Legacy. Yeah. I'm gonna be honest, ever since I got back from LA, I've not been playing many video games. I haven't streamed much. I don't know. A lot has happened since then, True. having Evie is definitely a
full-time job.
Definitely been a little bit of an adjustment. Plus, I mean, my wife's on summer vacation, and
true.
Not that we're doing a million things or anything, but I don't know.
Quidditch is would have been so clutch. I hope they do manage that. But yeah, that to answer that question, yeah, that would be the reason to do a director's cut, to literally just milk more out of the game, potentially add more stuff, and rather than another free update. But I'm wondering what that I've speculated about what potentially that next Rocksteady game could be. According the good thing that came from Jason Schreier's report is that WB has not abandoned their gaming division yet. They've they are going to let Rocksteady cook some more, and because there was some unfounded reports coming from grifters that Rocksteady had been shut down. There's literally somebody. I literally just get a comment like every week where someone's saying Rocksteady shut down. Like literally, no. Like that's not a thing. So it's nice that as you pretty much called that, and I thought, and I agree. Like there's the chances of them closing Rocksteady just after one failed game that everyone saw coming.
I couldn't even believe that, like, in real time, somebody was using trying to use the lost $200 million on the game thing. On me.
Yeah, that's just never going to go away because unfortunately that's how misinformation works.
Yeah.
A lot of people just were like, "Oh, it's Suicide Squad. This is easy, low hanging fruit. We can easily get some views off this." It lost $200 million, guys. Like and because no one's going to read the article. A lot of articles themselves didn't even understand the financial report. what it said. Not only am I not changing, I'm going to enlarge.
You're gonna make it the background.
This is we might.
I feel like Howler wants her to step on him.
I mean, that would be accurate. So when Miller first described Mrs. Freeze, because this is before we got he got his hands on the image of it and showed it to us, and we laughed hysterically. I vividly remember him describing her as a muscle mommy. and I was like, that could be interesting. And then I remembered what this game was. I was like, oh, there's no way. So then I just kind of kept my expectations in check. And sure enough, I was not wrong.
Here, I'll go ahead and make her the background.
Yeah, make Karen Freeze the background. I give you my permission.
There we go. We did it.
Really? Fuck Boston. I hope you enjoy the second apron.
Gonna have to. I mean, come on, that's a good picture of them.
No, it's not. It's terrible.
It's such a great picture. You got the world title, best league in the world,
NBA champions.
And you got the WWE title, and you got like the MVP title, champions of the world.
It's all right. The Boston's not making it back to the finals, so it's fine.
I mean, I feel like statistically they're at least already in the Eastern Conference Finals.
Well, we'll see about that. Obviously, health is going to be a big determining factor once again. That's pretty much the only reason Boston made it this time.
I'm not gonna lie, Philly is looking pretty decent if they can stay healthy.
That's the biggest thing. My dad was literally just texting me about what I thought of their moves, and like on paper, Philly had an unbelievable offseason. I mean,
that Caleb Martin edition,
that's massive. Like because that's the one thing that was the one hole in their because okay, you got Paul George back, you got Kelly Oubre. You got Eric Gordon, but you're going to start him next to. You probably don't want to start him next to Maxey, but there's a big hole at the 4. So do you play Paul George at the 4? Like, do you try to play like where are you going to go with that? And then maybe you do Paul Reed, but then they waive Paul Reed and grab Caleb Martin as a Heat enjoyer. I'm very sad, but. I watched Caleb play, and that's absolutely unbelievable.
There's part of me that's shocked that Miami can't get anybody. I
don't know what the fuck is going on over there.
Yeah, I don't is it Jimmy? Do people not want to play with Jimmy?
I don't. That's the funny. No. I think it's Riley, because people clearly want to play with the Heat. Like Dame wanted to go there. Mitchell wanted to. Everyone wants to go in Miami. But we don't want to give. Beal wanted to come here. Everyone wants to come to Miami, but Pat Riley doesn't want to fucking trade for anybody.
I mean, there's no income tax in Florida.
Yeah,
so you would think that would help them.
And it's Miami. You got all the nightlife. And that's why people want to come all the time. But Riley doesn't want to trade. So he never wants to do a trade.
I feel like Riley only wants to make a trade if he's fleecing someone. He's like not going to do something that's like straight up.
And he doesn't understand that he's not Danny Ainge. Like they don't have, the league is different. Like they're still dumb GMs, but they're not that dumb anymore on average. And you know, the league has changed, especially with the new CBA. Like the fact that their only major trade of the year was Terry Rozier is when Donovan Mitchell and Damian Lillard and Bradley Beal all said they wanted to play for the Heat, especially when you look at the haul that the Wizards got for trading Beal. They didn't even get a first round pick for Beal because he had a no trade clause. That was such a layup. Like, say what you will about Beal, you know, what you could say. Like, Beal would have been great on Miami. Like, he would have been great. And the fact that they could have got him for so little, because there was literally, that's why the Wizards got nothing. They didn't get a first round pick because they had no leverage. He was like, okay, well, we're going to trade you. He's like, well, I have a no trade clause, so fuck you. I go where I want. I want to go to Miami. So I was like, okay. So at that point, then it was a layup. Okay, he wants to come to Miami. You need to trade him. He doesn't want to. You can't. You have no control over where he goes. He has the no trade clause. All right, so Miami, give him a low ball and get it done. Like, what the fuck? Like, give him a player that you don't need. Throw in a couple second round picks and call it a day. Like, what are we doing?
Yeah, I mean, like, I'm happy to see it.
Yeah, like maybe, of course you are, but like some of us were coping, thinking, okay, maybe he didn't want to go for Beal because they were chasing Dame, but then they didn't go for Dame. Then it's like, okay, maybe they're going for Drew, and then the Blazers get dude. Like,
there's this dude that I follow that I know I've met, Cornell Gunther. He works on the WWE games, and he is just a massive Miami Heat fan. And like watching him go through it every time there's like even a hint that somebody's available, he's like throwing up the Heat signal. He's throwing up pictures of him photoshopped. He's like,
I'm a realistic Heat fan at this point. I know I've come to terms with the fact that Pat Riley's not going to do shit, and we're just cooked. Like our only only offseason acquisition was Kevin Love. I think that's literally like the Sixers got Paul George. They re-signed Kelly Oubre. They replaced Buddy Hield with Eric Gordon and did a sign and trade. So they got something for that. They got Andre Drummond to back up Embiid. They absolutely got a steal for Caleb Martin. Like their lineup is crazy. Like if they can stay healthy, we didn't know. Like even the Kings are making moves. They just got DeMar DeRozan.
There's like a 6-team trade.
because they had to make all the math work and get him his deal. But yeah, I think Harrison Barnes is going to the Spurs as part of that deal.
So the Olympic field is set.
The Olympics are going to be interesting. I was watching Wemby's highlights against Germany. Oh my god.
Oh, Luka didn't even make it.
Yeah, they got eliminated by Giannis in Greece. That French team is kind of scary. Not gonna get like having a front line of Wembanyama and Rudy Gobert is kind of crazy.
I mean, there's still no reason the US should lose.
No, for sure. I mean, they got Bron, they got Edwards. You know, they
look at the group they're in. They're in a group C with Serbia, South Sudan, and Puerto Rico.
Oh my god, they should win every game by 40.
Group A is Australia, Canada, Spain, Greece. That's kind of tough.
That's crazy.
And then Group B is Germany, France, Japan, Brazil.
Oh, France is clearing that. Yeah, Wemby looks unbelievable. Like he's already doing. He's already undergone the Giannis transformation. Yeah. like he already looks ripped. But unlike Giannis, he can actually shoot. like, he just looked insane. Like I was just looking at it like, man, he's already he's already just so much better than Rudy Gobert. It was just funny watching the two of them playing together. Like it's actually crazy that he got Defensive Player of the Year over Wemby. Like that's ridiculous.
I mean, it's crazy that anybody got the Defensive Player of the Year over Derek White.
Cap, stop the cap.
I just feel like centers get overvalued.
To some degree, but I think also you gotta I think they factor in like centers are much, especially in the current NBA, centers are much more important to a team's defensive scheme than a really good wing defender, because it's not like the old days of basketball where you had your lockdown and you're stopping the one-on-one. Like having one lockdown on the perimeter isn't really much because everyone runs pick and roll, everyone's running down screens, there's a lot of switching going on. So just having just a perimeter guy isn't of much value compared to having a big man who not only has to not only has to quarterback the defense and cover for everyone's mistakes, but they're the last line of defense if everything breaks down and someone's trying to get to the rim. And it's also their primary job to get the defensive rebound, which is incredibly huge because that ends possession, prevents them from getting potentially easy buckets because offensive rebounds could be pretty bad. So that's why big men are for sure valued more on defense, but I think it's very much appropriate for that to be the case because I think they do more and are more important to a team's scheme than one player who's just like a really good on-ball defender.
So anyway, US's roster: Bam Adebayo, Devin Booker, Steph Curry, Anthony Davis, Kevin Durant, Anthony Edwards, Joel Embiid. I know he's an American citizen now, but Tyrese Halliburton, Drew Holiday, LeBron James, Kawhi Leonard, Jason Tatum.
There's no way Embiid's playing.
Really, you think? So it doesn't matter who they replace him with, but like,
there's literally no fucking way.
Is he still down? I don't know how hurt he is.
I mean, I think he definitely needed. I'm not sure if he had surgery already, but he definitely looked like he definitely needed surgery. And I remember there was a report that Steve Kerr was in the Warriors weren't going to let Wiggins play because they were trying to trade him.
Yeah, I heard that.
If I'm the Sixers, there's no way I'm letting Embiid play.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, because Wiggins is Canadian, right?
Yeah. They called him Maple Jordan, which is hilarious. If I'm the Sixers management, there's not a chance in hell I'm letting Joel Embiid play in the Olympics after he just limped his way to a first round exit. There's not, and missed 30 games during the regular season. There's no fucking way. No.
Good, because Jaylen Brown needs a gold medal to go with his NBA Finals MVP.
Yeah, he's not getting the call up, but somebody else give the call up. We're not. Yeah, you're not letting Embiid play. Tell him instead if you want to get some exercise, go get in the gym. Drop 50 pounds, do whatever Wemby's doing with his stretching and flexibility training, and get ready for next season because we got to make a finals run. now that we spent $200 million on Paul George, you're not playing in the Olympics. You're crazy.
Yeah, I don't feel like Paul George is a $200 million player anymore.
If you look at the current market, he's definitely a $200 million player.
I guess, but I don't know. I trust him as much as Porzingis at this point.
You gotta remember. I mean, he played a lot of games this year.
Yeah,
and you gotta remember this is obviously the salaries going the TV contracts, that money's coming in. So they're doing it slowly instead of what they did when the Warriors, grab KD off the free agent market, but the money's going to go up. So these salaries now aren't going to be as bad because, the future contracts are going to be much bigger. But Paul George. If you look, I mean, you got Hartenstein, who just got 80 million. Like Paul George, yeah, even though he has some injury concerns, they weren't ever really as bad as Kawhi's.
Yeah.
And you're getting just a value that every team in the league needs, like an elite.
No, I get that. He's a free agent, so you're gonna get paid stupid money.
He's an elite 6'8" wing. He's one of the best defenders in basketball. He's an elite shooter. He can play with the ball. He could attack off the dribble, get his own shot. He can create for others. He can play off ball. Like that's 1% of $200 million in today's market.
I thought Canada's team looked more impressive than they are. I mean, they've got good players. I mean, they got Shea and Jamal Murray.
For sure. Like that's pretty big right there. I mean,
yeah. I mean, they got O'Shea Brissett and bringing some championship material onto the team.
Just having Shea there alone is like really good. But having Murray there too.
Andrew Nembhard from the Pacers, he's actually really good.
Yeah, he was really good
he impressed me a lot
in the playoffs. He's
Kelly Olynyk.
I mean, stretch big.
Dylan Brooks. I mean, he plays good defense.
Yep. And he's very annoying. He'll probably try to get someone ejected.
You got Dort. I don't know how to say his first name.
Lou Dort.
Yeah. Zach Edey.
Zach Edey's really good rookie. Lou Dort, one of the best perimeter defenders in basketball. One of the only people who can kind of guard Luka. Trey
Lyles, RJ Barrett.
RJ. Yeah.
Then you got a bunch of guys that play in Europe.
That's a really good team.
Yeah.
And I feel like not having Wiggins there is like addition by subtraction, because Wiggins is, I don't know, Wiggins is weird. Like Wiggins clearly stopped caring once he got that big contract, but it's always just been about the mentality. Like some players are blessed with everything and they just don't have the mentality. Like he's just a guy that just didn't want to be great, and that's why he kind of dragged along on those Bad Wolves teams. He got inspired to actually try on that Warriors team, because I think mostly because he was trying to get a new contract. Then he got it, and then he just kind of fell back off. Clay going to the Mavs. That's a great. Obviously, the Mavericks had an amazing offseason as well. You just hope Clay, for their sake, Clay has something left in the tank. But I think it's just more funny that Clay just took less years and money to avoid going to the Lakers. So,
I forgot there was another wrestling pay-per-view tonight. WWE NXT.
Wrestling's not real.
I know, but it's still fun. And Trick Williams just lost the world title.
Don't know who that is. Don't care.
I mean, he's from the Cookout. I mean, that should be good enough for you.
Don't care. Wrestling.
But spoilers for anybody that cares. Ethan Page is your new NXT champion.
What?
And as he's celebrating, Joe Hendry flashed on screen.
What? Not Joe Hendry.
Listen, I believe in Joe Hendry.
Literally, the only interesting thing you've told me about wrestling in the last year was Jalen Brunson.
Oh my god! In the middle of the last show or something, yeah, like out of nowhere, Tyrese Halliburton and Jalen Brunson are like in the ring going against each other, and there are a lot of people that thought Brunson hurt his hand when he was in the ring too, because when he went in the ring, you could see him press up with the hand that he just hurt.
Yeah,
and it like kind of went in a little bit, and he like looked at it and like did this. But like he like apparently put it to rest right after.
Yeah, he definitely sweating a little bit as a Nick injury, if you saw, because you already know Jalen Brunson's hurt. So seeing him in WWE, you're like, oh no, don't want to mess up that recovery.
Yeah, exactly. You're not gonna that would be kind of crazy. Like I understand these guys like to do stuff like that, and it's probably really cool for them. But and it's cool. Listen, I'm not a fan of either team, but like. That was really cool, like you see Jalen Brunson randomly in the ring.
I'm rooting for the Knicks only if they play the Celtics in the playoffs because I want the Celtics to get eliminated.
Well, I mean, I feel like you would root for anybody against the Celtics.
Definitely. Except for the Pacers. I fucking hated the Pacers. They only because they pissed me off. Like there's Rick Carlisle is such a horrific coach that I actively just wanted them to lose.
Yeah, there is and John Cena is the 2025 is the John Cena retirement tour.
Yeah. Oh, speaking of sports, you see Caitlin Clark, the first triple double in WNBA history for a rookie.
Oh, I was gonna say there has to have been a triple double.
Yeah, for a rookie.
I'm not like this big Caitlin. Like I don't really care, but like I feel like I don't know. I feel like everybody is like just rooting for her. Like everybody in that league is rooting for her to fail.
100%.
Yeah, and it's weird. Like because for better or worse, I do feel like her mostly like has brought a lot of attention to the league, definitely. And is making all of their lives better.
I think she's slow. I think she's finally starting to like earn their respect. Obviously, they're just haters by nature, but I think after she beat Diana Taurasi's team and like she just beat Diana Taurasi in the head-to-head, it definitely felt like kind of the pettiness kind of went away a bit, and like she kind of earned the respect of some of the best. And then when she got that triple double, they beat literally the best team in the league.
Yeah. I mean, I still don't care about the WNBA, but
I still actually Caitlin Hart has made me care enough to actually catch some games and catch some highlights at least if I can't get the games. And yeah, the coaching is also terrible, just like in the NBA, especially on the Indiana Fever. Caitlin Clark's coaching staff is fucking horrendous. they're literally winning purely on talent and her court vision. like they are horribly coached. It's so bad.
Yeah, I don't know, but
good for her. I hope she it would be actually hilarious if they won the championship this year.
Yeah, well, they were like, whatever.
No, I think they're definitely going to make some ways because it seems to be getting better week by week. They got a lot of talented players on the team. That's definitely a take, a more increasingly controversial take. The best season of the boys so far. Yeah, to me, there is like kind of no in between with this season. Like it's either the best or the worst season, and there's like no in between. And so far, I think that's fair because the episodes have definitely been up and down. I still think season 3. I think season 1 is the best season. Season 3 is overall my favorite season.
Interesting. I just feel like this is the first season that like
this is the first season JayShockBlast cared about.
Yeah, like that I really kind of was like intrigued, but then it kind of slowed down a little bit. I just feel like the season is a little bit more grounded, and that's what I'm enjoying about it the most.
Are you enjoying the Acolyte as much, Jay?
No.
Yeah, we had another down episode. Things have slowed down since the epic lightsaber episode, and yeah, this is the episode basically where Smiler Ren just walked around with his shirt off.
Yeah,
nothing else happened.
Don't get me wrong. I like that actor. I think he's good. I think
I think he's definitely wasted on this show.
Yeah,
like because
he's definitely the best part of the season. I don't like the Cortosis stuff. I don't know.
Yeah,
I just don't.
It's a little goofy, and the writing is definitely horrendous. Like they have no idea what they're doing with May's character. Like that whole scene in the ship was like kind of like the perfect encapsulation of why the writing in this season has just been so bad.
Yeah,
because it doesn't make sense. Like you previously established that May's whole thing was that she's trained by Smiler Ren specifically to get revenge on 4 specific Jedi because there's some alleged cover-up conspiracy or whatever. She thinks, initially she thought Osha was dead because she's stupid and she did no research. And she's like, okay, I got to kill these 4 Jedi. And then she's like, okay, instead of doing this for my master, I'm no longer dedicated to my master. I'm going to just abandon this entire mission that I'm literally on this planet for in the first place, looking through the wilderness to kill this Wookiee. Instead, I'm just going to betray my master, turn myself into the Jedi that I swore to destroy and hate, and I trust that they're going to do the right thing because I have information. I'm just going to snitch. So then, then she gets the chance to turn herself into the Jedi. Instead, she gets into a fight with the Padawan who has a crush on Osha and tries to kill her. And
I feel like we also found out the Green Lady has a secret too.
She's clearly bad, but
yeah,
it's just weird, like because how the motivation switched because like Smiler Ren tries to kill May multiple times during that entire lightsaber system, multiple times, and nearly succeeds. And then at the end of it, she decides for no reason at all to continue the mission instead of that she literally just had previously said she's abandoning him to snitch on him. Now, even though he killed her, tried to kill her, called her a failure, and moved on, she decides I'm going to pick up the mission and I'm going to try to kill Saul. But instead of just killing Saul, she decides she's going to impersonate May and go on undercover. So I'm like, okay, well, even though they didn't explain it, maybe she's trying to get some specific information, maybe it's important information. But then in the current episode, the next time we see her, she's about to sneak up on him and try to kill. I'm like, what the fuck is the point? I'm sneaking on this ship in the first place if you were just going to immediately try to kill him. Right.
Well, yeah, I don't know, man. The whole
like, what is the show?
Yeah, I don't want to I don't know. I'm not. I don't know.
I feel bad for actual Star Wars fans because they're definitely going through it.
Yeah, but there's also this part of me that's like, I don't want to be one of the ones because there are people that are irrationally doing it just to do it.
Oh yeah,
I don't want to be one of those.
There's obviously a lot of grifting going on. Like the whole Kiara Mooney thing was just goofy, but it wasn't something I'd be raging over. It's like, oh yeah, that's dumb. Okay, but it's just overall the show is just so bad. What's up, Wavy? Overall, it's so bad. And fortunately for me, I kind of tapped out on Star Wars already. I no longer just have expectations, and just after this, I'm just like, yeah, it just is. It just is what it is.
I'm just such a big Star Wars fan,
You just want
literally just have a random.
You just want some Revan.
Yeah. Oh, this is my Revan lightsaber, and I don't remember how I. There we go. This is the first lightsaber that changes from red, or changes to 2 colors.
Where's your kurtosis, Jay?
You know what? It doesn't have that, but it has these things.
Ooh.
So I got to find a better place for this because, it really does not need to live next to my desk. It's been here for a year because I think on stream once I showed it to somebody. Somebody's like, oh, whatever. And I'm like, oh, I have the lightsaber. And then I just never put it anywhere else.
I got the only lightsaber I got. I think I got a Darth Maul and a Darth Vader one when I was a kid. I think I still have them down in storage.
Yeah. Well, I do love me some Revan. So, yeah.
I just love the Darth Maul double blade. That was just iconic.
Oh, we saw Green Lady's lightsaber whip too.
The whip.
Do not like that. Oh, that's what the secret was. There's the whip design.
The smaller on his back. Smaller on his back.
Yeah.
It's clear. Yeah, I think people are assuming that she was his master not necessarily a Sith master, but
Yeah.
the Jedi that he got into conflict. But then he's clearly a bad person. So I think maybe it was just a situation where she was like, "Oh, you're evil now. Don't do that." And he said,
I don't like the whip thing. Like, and I don't. This isn't just me being like an old man. I'm sorry. I'm out on that.
I imagine it's difficult. You got to kind of give her a wide berth if you're a fellow Jedi fighting with her. So
yeah.
You don't get hit with the collateral. Like,
yeah.
whoops, just accidentally whip your head off.
Yeah. Well, I guess we should probably get some First Descendant talk in, and then probably call it because
the game of
my
the year.
back is barking.
The game of the year, Jay.
I would love, like, listen, I tried to finally play it. I got through like that first tutorial mission, and then the servers died.
Yeah, Jay picked the absolutely perfect time to try to start First Descendant. He didn't do launch day. He did the day after, and that's when they had those server problems, and then it ended up going into maintenance the entire day.
Yeah, I just had something else going on. Oh, Magneto came to Fortnite.
Yeah, so I played on launch day. I didn't get to play at all on the day that Jay jinxed the game, and but then I've been playing ever since, and I'm enjoying it. It's a very interesting game. It's currently, obviously, it's very popular. Last I checked, it had broken its own Steam concurrent play record once again, going from 250,000 concurrent players to 260,000 concurrent players earlier today. Mixed reviews on Steam. You have people complaining, so they have some technical issues. You have people complaining about the some of the microtransactions, but people mostly just are enjoying the dumb fun. There's currently a controversy where apparently they're saying that they copied icons from Destiny 2.
I saw somebody, a big Destiny streamer or Destiny personality, respond to Paul Tassi's article that they're actually just like regular assets you can buy.
Yeah.
And they both just bought from the same place.
Yeah, because this is clearly like a game that they bought, some Unreal Engine 5 assets and stuff like that. So yeah, even then I was like, I don't really care about this controversy. I think people complaining about the microtransactions maybe have some more validity, but to me it's like it's a free to play game. It's not competitive. So there's really no reason to be, rushing through anyway. Like you can unlock every character if you don't want to spend any money, and the best character to unlock in terms of, because farming is a big part of the game, and the best farming character in the game you unlock within the first hour. So to me it's like it's not a big deal, and I'm happy to spend money on a game if I think it's giving me a worthwhile experience, and so far I think it is.
Yeah, I honestly I got to the hub, so I don't even know what the microtransactions look like. I bought $20 in credits right off the jump because I'm like, all right, I'll play this game enough. They can have $20 from me.
Yep.
Ooh, the worst free screen for Sadot.
Yeah, I'll try to fix this without, see if I can fix this without closing, but I'm probably not. I'm just going to probably close it.
Yeah.
Jay sabotaged me again.
Yeah. Well, he's blowing the chat kisses. Well, he was. Yeah. So, like Avengers, is it like Avengers? I was playing solo. I obviously think it's probably better, like most games, when you can play with somebody.
I was trying to keep the man down.
I think you can play solo, right?
Yes, there's this game. You can play it solo. You can obviously set the game to public or private if you want to have a private game by yourself, or set it to public if you'll still find yourself playing solo sometimes, but if you have it public, you'll commonly see people running around, and then they can join in on you anytime. But yeah, you want to just have a solo experience, you can do that. The microtransactions is it's roughly $10 if you just want to outright buy a character. If you want to get enough currency to buy a character, they have like these bundles things as well, where you can get certain characters for cheaper plus some other benefits. Yeah, I think it's fine, but you can also obviously just unlock the characters by playing. They'll give you detailed breakdowns of all the resources that you need to gather, and then you just farm those resources. And then the one thing I don't like is that when you actually get all the resources, because we did this on stream. I had a character that had gotten two of the 4 resources that I needed. So I was like, all right, well, let's finish this off on stream. So I unlock the character, and then when I go to claim her, you claim her at research. They tell you that it's going to take 16 hours for the research to finish, so that you can unlock the character. And I'm like, yeah, that part is bullshit. Like,
yeah, a little anticlimactic.
I'm fine with I'm fine if it's like, okay, you want to buy the character outright, you can do that. Throw a couple bucks and call it a day, or you can grind them out, and if you want to just have that free experience, and that's fine to me. But the add on the fact that also once you do, because some of the drop rates are pretty horrible, but if you do finally get that character, you have to wait another 16 hours. But
that's bad.
If you don't want to wait the 16 hours, you can pay us in premium currency to speed it up. So you can, I'm like, all right, that's gross.
If you told me that you completed the research and you had to wait like an hour, I'd be like, all right, I get that. But 16?
Yeah, 16 hours. So, but I woke up today and the research was done. So I was like, all right, I got the character. It's fine. But yeah, that part is definitely shitty. Like, I feel like the way it is right now, they don't need to like push people any harder to buy it. That part just feels unnecessary. Like, because at that point, like, I don't think anyone realistically is going to just be like, okay, fine, I'll just buy the character. Like, they're going to just be like, they're more likely going to just say fuck this game than to just give you more money. So I think that they should definitely change that part and just make it so that as soon as you get all the research and get the character, like, it's at most, because when you do it for like a resource, like an upgrade material, it's like 10 minutes at most.
Mm-hmm.
That's fine. Like 10 minutes, you got, all right, I run a quick farm mission or two, come back, the research done, I got the thing. Cool. But 16 hours is absolute bullshit. But like, take that out. That's completely unnecessary. Like, don't do that.
No, I'm with you on that. That sounds dumb.
Yeah, but everything else for the most part, I'm enjoying. As a Avengers veteran, I absolutely despise the missions where you have to stand in a circle while enemies rush you, especially when you're playing Bunny, because her whole kit is designed for her to constantly be running around. So if you're playing that solo, it's ass. So definitely play, do some of that with a friend. But otherwise, yeah, apart from that thing with the research on characters, I'm enjoying the game. It's obviously not a masterpiece, but I think they've done enough right where people are kind of really enjoying the experience, especially getting that process of getting to the end game. Story, no one cares too much about. I couldn't tell you what's going on except somebody's a traitor and there's some monster guy. I don't give a fuck. I just kind of skip through it.
So apparently this is something that's normal, but
they
doesn't make it any less annoying.
It's not normal across most games that have unlockable characters, but
yeah,
it is something that they got
done. Maybe is a better way to put it.
They copied a lot from Warframe. I don't think that's the thing they should have copied. That's just stupid. Just give us the fucking character. like don't make it necessary. Other than that, I think I'm enjoying. Obviously, noticeably all the characters are attractive except for the enemies who.
I intend on jumping back in at some point. before the new Suicide Squad season launches.
Yeah, for sure. I was looking forward to this because I thought I played the beta. I thought, oh, this is going to be great. But I needed something a little something scrap the live service itch until Marvel Rivals later this month. And now we got it. We got the First Descendant. I can run, for a long time. And then we got Suicide Squad this Thursday. And then, in a couple of weeks, we got Marvel Rivals. We can finally play that. And yeah, it's July is going to be pretty fun. I'm excited. Who you think you're going to main in Marvel Rivals, Jay?
I was really liking Scarlet Witch towards the end. I do really like Magneto. Intrigued to see what Adam Warlock and Venom are all about. But yeah, like right now, Magneto and Scarlet Witch are looking pretty good for me.
Solid choices. So I didn't get to play, so that's her. So I'm probably gonna watch some.
That's right.
I'm gonna watch some JayShockBlast footage to get good. Learn all I need to learn about.
I wonder who I think I would see you playing.
This is weird because I'm kind of all over. Like I like DPS characters. And I also like tank characters.
I don't know, High Ruler. Who do you think that Sadot's gonna play? I could see you as Groot. For some reason, I just see you as Groot.
I do enjoy playing tank support roles, so that would make sense. I think I'm definitely going to play Venom, but I think I'm more likely to do Loki or Adam Warlock because I like the support role. But I also like to be able to, fuck some shit up.
There you go. I did like Rocket Raccoon a lot too.
Yeah. That's probably. I probably would end up on a Groot, or we'll see how I'll enjoy Warlock or whatever. But yeah, I like the support. I like being able to support the team a bit, but I also like to be about that action. So yeah, I'm probably gonna. I looked at from what I saw of Adam Warlock's kit. I think he's going to be right up my alley. I'm looking forward to that. But let's get out of here because old man Jay needs to have his dog step on his back, so he can.
I really don't know. Like I feel like in some ways it's gotten better, but in other ways it's gotten worse. And I think it has to do with this chair.
You should do some yoga, Jay.
I just think the way that this chair sits is like making it worse because I hate this fucking chair. I don't the number one thing I regret buying the most in my entire life is this chair. This chair is like it's like an $1,800 chair. The chair we had at our hotel was literally like a $50 Staples chair, and it was more comfortable than this piece of shit.
Yeah, I would have never spent. As someone who went through a couple of gaming chairs, I would never spend that much on a gaming chair.
The only reason that we did it is because of how much I needed a good chair because of how much I sit in it and how much I've been struggling to find one. And it's the Herman Miller Logitech chair, and like this thing has had like incredible reviews like across the board. I wish like everyone I've ever seen talk about it has said it's like the best chair ever up until when I got it. And we literally drove to Boston. There's a Herman Miller store in Boston. We went there, drove in, I sat in it, and I should have gone with my inclination at the time because I was like, this is okay. I don't love how tight the armrests are on my sides, but like when they're all the way down, it's fine. So it's not that big of a deal. And I think I just convinced myself that I needed to get it. And it is
always those instincts. I just went with my instincts on the share for Amazon, and it ended up being the best share I ever got.
Yeah, I don't know what it is, but like there's like this bar that goes right across the front of it, and it just digs into my legs, and I hate it. That chair. Because I did get it, but like I quickly swapped it out. Yeah,
this ended up being my best chair. Like, so eventually we got to find your perfect chair. This is the perfect chair for me. I love this chair.
Yeah. So I don't know. Anyway, I feel like it's like when we started, I was like fine, and as the show has progressed, it's just like it's like killing me. So
we'll get well soon, Jay. The next time I see your stupid face, we'll be playing as Mrs. Freeze.
we will. We'll have a lot to talk about. maybe we'll get other Suicide Squad enjoyers like Hyruler or whoever it may be on Friday. I don't know.
Yeah, give a little review of the season 2. What we thought about it, and obviously got to play some games together on Thursday for launch day. Once we get everything. Yeah, obviously some people are going to need to carry.
Yeah, put me in that backpack. I will give you your props. I'll give you your flowers, as the kids say.
Yeah, he's learning. He's getting all the lingo.
At first, I learned all about Kendrick and Drake, and now can't hold me back.
Oh, I'm looking forward to seeing Jay's evolution. All right, we'll catch y'all next week. Appreciate everyone hanging out once again. Hopefully Jay's not in as much pain next time we see him. Start doing some stretches, do some Pilates, do some yoga.
I'm trying to do everything I can. I promise you. It's fine when I'm walking. It literally only hurts when I'm sitting.
Yeah, every time I come across this guy on YouTube Shorts that's always giving advice on like the best stretches or anything like that, maybe I'll try to find it. Send it your way, because he's like a doctor or something. So he seems
there you go.
So, we'll catch you next time. I'm Sadot the Gamer.
I am just giving up the Casual Avenger bit. I'm JayShockBlast.
Yeah, right. Zip it up and zip it out. Peace.